Hello. This is Crystal, and we are the Noodle System. So, this has been a long weekend. Today is the 8th of September, I think. Hold on, we haven't checked the date in a few days. Yes, the 8th of September. It's technically Tuesday morning, 1:46 a.m. We have not gone to bed yet for Labor Day, Monday. So we got to go to work in the morning, and we're like wide awake, and that's not uncommon for us anymore. We used to be so dog tired back in the Kathy days. If you don't know, Kathy was our alter ego. We'll just call her alter ego. We called her the alter ego because she was like our mask that we wore because we didn't know who we were without it. Have you ever had that? Have you ever had that where the person that you presented to everybody was the person you strive so hard to be, even when you were alone? And you were afraid to take the mask off, even when you were alone, because you didn't know who you were underneath. And so all the thoughts and all the feelings and all the stuff that we would struggle with by ourselves and with other people were so very conflicted. Because, the Kathy mask was shattered and cracked from all the times we had fallen off this pedestal we put ourselves on, this expectation pedestal where we expected so much of ourselves because others expected so much of us, and we expected a lot from others. And you can't wear a mask your entire life. It's not sustainable. So every time the mask would fall off, it'd shatter, we'd fall apart, we were out sobbing and conflicted and losing it and crisis for days, and then we'd pick up our mask, piece it back together, put it back on, and be the best person we think people want us to be, and it just definitely wasn't who we were. Being who other people wanted us to be was not who we were. And we didn't know who we were. We had an identity crisis year after year, not knowing who we are, and we just kept picking up the mask and putting it on the best we could. So we retired Kathy. Kathy's been retired, and ever since we retired Kathy, that's when the noodles started coming out. So I've got tons of videos that kind of explain a little bit about all of that. So if you want to watch any of those videos, you can piece together our journey and our discovery so far. That's if you have time to kill, that's if you want to, that's if you're interested. I don't really think anybody would be, but you might be. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool if you were, because then I'd feel like I have someone to talk to, but I'm really doing these vlogs for my own journey and my own healing and the healing of my noodles, my little noodles in my brain that think that they are also Crystal. They don't see themselves as somebody different per se, because they just have their own path that they're on and their own goals and their own dreams, their own desires, their own opinions, their own objections. We've basically counted 17 of us, and we closely match the description of an OSDD1A system. Of course, we haven't been officially diagnosed yet. We are getting evaluated, and hopefully we can get confirmation of this. And if it's not that label, that's fine. We're not stuck on it or anything. We would like to know what's going on with us, though, if it's not that. So we'll see what happens. So continue following us on our journey. We'll see where that takes us. Anyways, today's video, I've already taken too much of your time just to tell you the intro to what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to just run through the list of videos that we have made with a quick description of each video. All right, the first video that we did was called A New System. Basically, it was our thrown together real quick video about what we were trying to express into words, what we were experiencing. And the only thing that we knew was that it must be an OSDD system of some sort. We could not decipher which one because we had amnesia about our amnesia, and we couldn't make out distinct alters. We just knew that there was a lot of similarities that we were experiencing to d.i.d systems, but it wasn't very solid either way. So that was our first video. Our second video was Switching Feels Like, or something like that, where we basically describe what it feels like to switch. And our switching would only really happen during trauma or triggers of our trauma, distressing situations, anxiety, depressing moments or things like that. It didn't really happen just, oh, one day I just decided to be someone. It was really uncontrollable. Yeah, and I didn't even know about positive triggers until I started watching some of those bigger YouTubers, and I'm like, oh, that would make sense why some things seem to lift me up into a completely different mind frame. You know, I think it's because I get positively triggered. Where the Switching Feels Like has a video in there called Inside, and it's a short film about a man who has a bunch of alters who influence the system. And it's just really noisy. It's really noisy in his head, and that is what we really related to, because we don't switch as much, you know, with just one alter driving for long periods of times. We're just mostly co-conscious. Most of us are in the car or in the front seat of the car, or a couple of us in the front seat and several of us in the back. That analogy that Multiplicity and me gives, we understand that so much more because we're very aware of the thoughts, but some thoughts are louder than others. Some personalities are stronger than others. Some emotions and opinions and stuff, but they're all very conflicted, and some like to choose different sides and stuff like that. So anyways, that was what that one. The third one we did was Needing to Talk. Basically, this was our video where we probably just wanted to, I think it was just wanting to give, just say, hey, this is what we're doing. We're doing this YouTube video thing, and we're putting these rainbow things above our head to show you when we're dissociating, and maybe we'll show you some ways of letting you know which noodle is fronting. We don't know what we're doing, so we just need to talk, I guess. The next video was basically a vlog, is all I wrote down. A vlog of some sort. I don't remember anymore. Oh, I think this is Meet the Noodles. Yeah, this is the Meet the Alters. And we didn't talk about it too much. We didn't introduce all of them. This is just a few that we were comfortable talking about, and a couple of them that were comfortable with us talking about them. All right, the number 5 video was called Neuropsych of some sort. I don't remember the name, of course. I just wrote down Neuropsych, where we talk about our neuropsychological evaluation that we got last year when we were experiencing a lot of distress, but we didn't know what it was. And our psychiatrist wanted to rule out psychosis, which he did, and put us on some sort of schizophrenic medication, antipsychotic medication, which really just numbed us, and we didn't like how tired it made us and everything. Number 6 was called Trigger Warning. Basically, it was us trying to describe the different types of altars that we recognized in our system. And it was just our way of understanding it. I don't know if anybody else has explained altars in those ways before, but that was just our description. And then we had Red Noodle come out and just really beat us up verbally. So that wasn't pleasant, and that's why we put trigger warning on there, because it's devaluing to hear that. But we felt it was important to kind of just share our experiences, because the most important thing that we wanted to give to the community with our YouTube channel was real life experiences that might validate someone else's experiences. One of the things that really frustrated me about some of those bigger YouTube channels that talk about d.i.d is that they were either over sensationalizing their trauma. You know, I don't want to say exaggerating it, but it just seemed like they were overdoing it, pushing it, forcing it, maybe putting on a show. I don't want to say that they were, and I don't want to say who it is I'm talking about, but it just didn't seem as genuine to me. And so rather than, you know, planning on setting up the camera and planning for a switch to come out, I just been vlogging a lot. And if something comes up, then I might share it just to show you what our genuine experience is like. Because when we were trying to find validation in our experiences, we turned to those other YouTubers and we did not feel very validated. It actually felt invalidating to not be able to relate to their Hollywood altar or their, you know, their altar that was non-human or whatever. It's like I don't want to go into so much details about my altars, but I will talk about my experiences. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what everyone's looking for, is validation. Number 7 was my video about emotional dysregulation, where we were having a rough day that day and we just happened to be vlogging, because we do that a lot to help us remember what we were thinking and feeling and talking about and stuff, because we were losing memories and thoughts and feelings quite often. And our emotional dysregulation video was really kind of just giving you a snapshot on my anxiety and what that looks like for me and how that comes up and how I'm able to calm down. And yeah, that was a long video. Number 8 was basically my vlog about starting the YouTube channel and what I hope to gain from it and what I hope to do with it. I thought that was a good snapshot just to kind of get an understanding of what I'm about and not really put on a show, but just kind of give you a genuine look at my intentions. Number 9 is about making decisions, and I'm trying to remember which that one's about. Making decisions. I'm not remembering that one. I guess there's something about making decisions there. Oh, that was when we went to the grocery store and we had a different noodle. We needed a different noodle to come out and make decisions because we were not able to make decisions in that moment. And yeah, we have a confident noodle that can make decisions, but they've been taking a back seat so that we could come forward and process some of our trauma. And that was a difficult day for us. All right, number 10 is called Finally Free, or something like that. That was when we talked about how good it felt to open the bird cage, so to speak, and let all of the little different colored birdies fly out. And each bird is still a bird, like each noodle is still a crystal noodle, but they're all in their own different colored bird. And each bird is still a bird, like each noodle is still a crystal noodle, but they're all in their own different colored bird. And each bird is still a bird, like each noodle is still a crystal noodle, but they're all in their own different colored noodleness sort of way, just like the birds are all different colors. Just basically what I'm trying to say is that they don't really have different backgrounds or different memories of a different life or a different inner world. They all have the same mother, same father, same sister, same brother, same husband, same kids, but they all look at it differently, which is why we think the OSD-D1A fits. It just seems to make sense. All right, number 11 is our apology video. This one was done out of order because we weren't done uploading our July videos, but we had to insert this one because our intention in August was to create a bunch of reaction videos to what we thought about other people's Instagram posts with their meet the altars. We just thought it would be interesting to look at those, and told a bunch of people we would react to theirs, and we started to, and we tried to, and the more we were trying to, the more invalidating it felt to our system because we didn't understand their system. And granted, we may be looking at altars and intros that belong to d.i.d systems and OSDD1B systems, and those are all very distinct from their host. So very distinct that I almost feel like I'm a foreigner in a different country, not understanding their language. And so I'm not trying to invalidate their country or their language or their customs or their experiences or anything like that. We just didn't understand it, so we didn't feel like we were the right person or the right system to react to it without invalidating them some way accidentally or further invalidating us. So we needed to take care of our mental health. So that was our apology video, letting you know, guys, sorry we tried, but it wasn't good for us. We couldn't do it. Number 12 is called self-hypnosis. And I'll put all these links down below if you want them, or just go to my page. I don't know if you really care, but we're just talking about them right now because we are really proud of all the work we've done on our videos. Self-hypnosis to date is my most watched video. Now granted, I have a really small following. I think I've got 49 subscribers, which is nothing, right? It's hardly nothing, but we appreciate all 49 of you. We really do. And I think my self-hypnosis video has like 50 views. So it looks like every single one of my subscribers may have watched that one, but that's the most viewed one. And basically, I learned from Power of the Plurals or Stronghold System how to do self-hypnosis by watching a few of her videos. And it really did help me tap in and start learning how to communicate. And so that is how we have started to break down some of our amnesia walls, was by doing self-hypnosis. All right, number 13 is called blending. Now, blending is actually one of my least viewed videos, and it's only 5.5 minutes long, and it's talking about entropy system and how she describes what it's like to be blended. And blending meaning two altars or more are up front in the front seat, so to speak, directing the body or communicating in a way, kind of like you would blend colors or foods, or you know what I'm saying. It's kind of a combination. And then there's also the term bleed through, which I just learned recently, and I would say that's a similar thing to blending, but not quite the same. So blending is what we talked about with our experience. 14 is about writing down thoughts or messages to each other in the system, and this did not work very well at all. We had one noodle trying to be very controlling about it, and a bunch of other noodles that were really against it. And we've always been a journaler, as far as I can remember. Since I was like 9 years old, I've been journaling. So it really surprised me that not all my noodles wanted to journal. But that was a very interesting video because they wrote in different handwritings and had different responses, and we might try it again in the future. And that was quite a long video as well, but it seems to be very very common for other altars of other systems to journal to each other, where we love to video journal because we can get our point across better through video journaling. So we do a lot of vlogging. All right, number 15 is called At War, I think it is. Basically, we were struggling. We were having a mental health crisis that day. And the only thing that keeps us sane during a mental health crisis is going to work. I know most people wouldn't think that you could work during a mental health crisis, but when you have OSDD or d.i.d, sometimes going to work helps balance out the crisis, because you just allow that noodle to take charge of the body and do what it needs to do what other people expect it to do a good job at it too, and nobody will suspect that you're struggling. It's a protective mechanism. I'm a workaholic because of it. That's what people call me, as a workaholic, which is, I think, is fine. I don't think it's anything wrong with that, except that it's helping us avoid the bigger issues at hand, and we've gone 39 years without really tapping into what's really bothering us. So I wouldn't call working instead of processing the better option all the time, but sometimes you need it. Sometimes it's a lifesaver. Katy Perry says that in a song. She says something about the alter ego saved her life. You know it. You know it. All right. The next one after that is self-therapy. Now, self-therapy was when we spent all day in the headspace talking to each other. We did the self-hypnosis thing. We were doing journaling. We were doing just back and forth conversations. And even though I was like staring at my husband at one point and listening to him, I wasn't listening to him. He thought I was listening to him, but no, I was totally like checked out and out of it. This is going to be a long video. Maybe I'll do 2 times the speed right here if I haven't done it yet. All right. Number 17 is meet some altars. This one I think is done also kind of sporadically, not really consistently, because we didn't want, not all the altars want their names shared, and so we cut out a lot of this video. And even though it was like 15 minutes long, it was a lot longer originally, so you kind of missed a big chunk of it because the altars weren't ready to share. All right, number 18, won't sleep, can't sleep, something like that. Don't really remember what we were talking about there, but I'm sure it had something to do with that all-day marathon of self-therapy in the headspace. It was that same evening. Number 19 is one of our most favorite vlogs that we've done. It's called movies, noodles and their movies, or something like that. Every noodle got to express what their favorite movie was, and we tried to have some sort of clip from each movie to show you what movie we were talking about. And so we were really proud of that one, even though the sound with the picture is not really synced up because we had to do a voiceover. We still really enjoyed doing the movies video. I think we might do another one with music. Stay tuned for that one. All right, number 20 is about my super supportive aunt. We're going with aunt. And I haven't really talked to her much since, because I think she's kind of wigging out. I don't know. We'll see. Number 21 is something about the spectrum. Oh, we wanted to know if depersonalization could be on a spectrum. So instead of seeing us from outside of our body, like floating and looking down on us, don't you think you could just float to the back of your headspace and look outwardly through your eyeballs and see somebody else taking over your body and doing things that you don't agree with, and you can't stop them and you can't help it, but you're watching them do stuff from the back and you're like, why am I picking up this thing, and why am I doing this, and why am I saying those words, and oh my gosh, stop it, stop saying that, just leave, just go, no, why are you going, oh my gosh, like that kind of depersonalization to me is on a spectrum, compared to someone who can see their body from above, from aerial point of view. I don't know. So I don't want to say I've never seen my body from above, because I do relate to that, sort of. It's more or less to the side of me, not really above me. Can you hear my eyeball squishing as I'm rubbing it? Why am I rubbing my eyeball? I think I got something in it. Yeah, I do. Because it kind of hurts. Does it bother you guys that I don't wear makeup? Just not a makeup loving person. And one noodle does want to, and wants to just for the sake of looking aesthetically pleasing to the camera, but we're kind of rebelling against that concept. So anyways, 22, this one's secret. Top secret, everybody. If you've made it this far into this video, then you'll be able to see that I am talking about a top secret video. It's called Poopy Advice, Yellow's Poopy Advice, or something like that. And basically, she's giving advice to somebody on Marco Polo about the Earth and how it's taking a big poop right now, because it's got the nastiest stomach ache. And when the poop is all done and over with, hopefully our Earth will feel better, and it will be better, and everything will just balance itself out, just like a stomach ache does. It was kind of a dumb video, in my opinion. And the poopy advice that she gives kind of also shows her toxic positivity. Toxic positivity is basically when you invalidate somebody else's experience by encouraging them to be positive, as if that's supposed to help someone. Like, maybe if they want to be positive, they'll ask you, hey, do you have any ideas or tricks on how I can think more positively about this situation? Then sure, let's give out some positive information. Let's give out some positive poopy advice, right? But I think it's poopy advice, and I'm saying poopy instead of the S word. I'm saying poopy advice because she didn't validate the pain on Marco Polo that the other person was going through. She completely negated it by saying, we're going to think positively about this really crappy situation our world is going through right now. Yeah, so that's a top secret video. We did not share it on our page, but we do have the link there if you want to watch it. All right, number 23 is called As a Team. Now that one, we thought that was a pretty good video, because it was one of our first successful days where all of us noodles were able to work together and get a lot accomplished. Number 24 is called Healing versus Fun. This is another top secret video that we really didn't want to share because we felt it could be invalidating to other systems out there. And we can share the link now if you're prepared to know that Yellow Noodle didn't understand what the kids on Instagram were doing with all their fictives and, factives and witches and dragons and Draculas and, animal altars. Like, we understand that some legitimate systems out there have these things, but there are over 1,000 systems that we are following on Instagram, and most of them seem like kids, like under 18 years old kids. and we don't want to invalidate their systems, but we almost wonder if it's sensationalizing or glamorizing or make believe, cosplay sort of things. So we're not really sure what's going on. Is it fun or is it healing from trauma? So that's what we were trying to understand in that video. I'll agree with Yellow. We are kind of confused as a system, but we didn't want to invalidate anybody by putting that out there publicly. But here's a link if you want to check it out, because you've made it this far in the video. That means you're really interested, I guess. All right, the next one was called Dichotomy of some sort. I think teens versus adults or something like that. I don't remember. But the dichotomy of the two camps where they always battle each other, like two different teams that never agree with each other. Yeah, the dichotomy is really strong in our system. Number 26 is a thank you video to d.i.d Hatchery, and this is about the time that we realized that we were posting out of order. We missed a whole chunk of videos from early August. So I think, if I remember correctly, d.i.d Hatchery was around the 7th of August, and we finally posted it up, I think late August. And yeah, we just really appreciate d.i.d Hatchery and her bravery to share the raw stuff and the genuine stuff, because that's just, we really relate to her system. All right, number 27 was called 17 Things, and this is basically when we attempted to honor all 17 noodles by allowing them to have their one thing for the day that they wanted to do. But as luck would have it, we weren't able to really accomplish that, because you can't really plan things for all of your noodles. All of your alters might want different things, but you can't really plan for them to be executed when you can't really predict your system to comply. I mean, your system is going to protect you in every which way it can, and I got a migraine that day and I needed a nap, and it was just a very chaotic day. So maybe we'll try it again in the future, but it's not really something we can rely on. Number 28, we talked about depression after a night terror. We didn't really talk about the night terror too much, but just the depression that goes along with our comorbidity symptom that comes along with this OSDD experience. If we could just feel validated and balanced, I don't think our depression would be as strong. Number 29, we posted recently, just on the 5th of September, and it's called Community. Now, Community was a nerve-wracking video that we are very happy to have posted, but at the same time extremely nervous for the backlash or the disagreements, because we are basically coming out as a pro-endogenic system. We are a traumagenic system. We agree with that. But we also agree that endogenic systems are allowed to exist. We may not understand them, just like we were saying in another video. We don't understand all these kids on Instagram. But that doesn't mean they're not valid, and that doesn't mean that they don't exist. Now, a lot of people misunderstand endogenics to mean that they want d.i.d or they want alters, so therefore they have alters. That's like, no, I don't think a lot of people that have alters want alters. I think they just accept that they have alters. They've come to this acceptance or this understanding, or they couldn't get away from it, so they might as well acknowledge them in some form, whether it be acknowledging them all the time or acknowledging them sometimes. And even people who create tulpas for the sake of their own healing or their own interest or their own curiosity, or maybe it's for a spiritual or religious purpose. But people that create tulpas or altars to communicate to, obviously are going through something. So why are you trying to take that away from them? You may not call it trauma, and they may not even call it trauma. But why does it have to be trauma based? I really would love to just put a link up right here for Stronghold Systems video. I think it's called This Video Needs a Better Title. I think it's a great title for a video. But basically, she talks about how if you need to go look up a definition for d.i.d or OSDD, and you need to put your finger on the requirements to have a d.i.d diagnosis or an OSD diagnosis, nowhere in there does it say that you are required to have trauma in order to be validated as a d.i.d or OSDD system. It says that it can usually stem from childhood, usually around the ages of 6 to 9. I don't even know if that's in the criteria, but that's basically, just helpful what they've noticed about it, not a requirement. So I don't think it, I just think a lot of people get it mixed up. Here's another link to the origins of endogenic and traumagenic words, that the original system, Trash Can Collective, I think it's called, created those in hopes to bring the battle to a close and try to be inclusive to as many people as possible. And yet all it did was further separate what was just falling apart at the seams when it didn't used to be so divided. I guess that's based on their experience. So I just really want to just completely be as transparent as possible. I may not understand all the other plurals out there, but I'm not going to invalidate them either. So I hope I'm really clear about that. All right, so number 30th one that we posted is called Till Noodle. Basically, Till Noodle's addiction and how she's addicted to husband and pleasing him and making sure he's okay, because when he's okay, then she feels okay. 31 is called Synthetic Noodles. That's another secret one that you have not seen. The secret ones I really didn't want to be on a spotlight in any way, shape, or form, but I really don't mind people watching them as long as they know what they're about to watch. Make sure you read the description. The Synthetic Noodles is basically Yellow Noodle was in so much denial about admitting our existence that she wanted so badly to talk to somebody about what was going on. So she gets on the camera to do a Marco Polo to her aunt, and it blurted right out of her mouth. She had a hard time working her way up to it, and finally she just said it. She said it, that it's synthetic, it's fake, I'm making it up, I'm doing it on purpose. It's like creating a drug in a lab to match a natural stimulant found on the earth. They create natural stimulants in the lab, and they call them a synthetic stimulant of some sort, right? I'm just making stuff up. I'm just giving you examples. But basically, it wasn't until Yellow Noodle could admit that she's making up d.i.d symptoms synthetically, like she's doing it on purpose for the purpose of healing. Once she was able to admit that to herself, that's when us Noodles fought back and was able to say, no, don't even dare call us fake. Don't even dare call us phony. And we only became stronger because she did that. So if you notice towards the end of the video, we were really ashamed of this video for the longest time, until we posted it, edited it, all that stuff, and then we reviewed it and we're like, actually no, she validates us at the end. She validates us at the end and says, hey, they may be synthetic or maybe they're not. How am I supposed to know unless I let them be who they are? and then we'll see where this goes, which I think is the best thing a host can do, especially one that's in denial, is just surrender and let's see what happens. So we don't hate her so much for it anymore, but we do have this war going on with her sometimes because she doesn't know what she's doing, and she's never really known. She just knows how to push the Kathy programming buttons and make Kathy work really well, but we've retired Kathy, so she's not doing that so much anymore. She wants to. That's her nature, but it's not what she's doing anymore. This video's gotten really long. I sure hope I sped it up so it's not terribly long. All right, the next one after that is number 32, and that is adult trauma. Now, adult trauma was posted because we were having some doubts that day, and adult trauma was basically saying our childhood trauma wasn't that bad, so why else could this be happening? And we were trying to point fingers at husband, which we've done several times over the years, and that's just another way Denial Noodle has ignored our existence, is by blaming it on other people besides letting us own where we're at in our healing process. All right, the next one after that is OSDD1A, many types of crystals, many different crystals. That's one we just posted today that we are super proud of. So super proud of. And basically, it's an embarrassing video towards the end. It doesn't end the way we want it to, but it just gives you a really good look at what's going on. But basically, we're just basically owning the OSDD1 label, even though we're not quite diagnosed with it yet. It's our coming out video, really. And we love how we put the different colored crystals in it too. We've been sharing that one like crazy. Technically, it's not even up yet. It's going to be posted up at 7:45 this morning, so in just a few hours. I'll probably be sleeping. But yeah, we set it to premiere because we only want one video posted per day, and we want it to be somewhat consistently, so I'm going to have it posted in the morning. All right, the one we're going to post on the 9th of September, yes, that's right, it's already set to premiere. It's called Family and Friends. It's a video that you may have already seen because this will be posted way in the future. But the Family and Friends video is basically a snapshot of a confession that it's not been my husband's fault this whole time. This is who I am. I'm sorry if I've been a terrible friend or a terrible, daughter, sister, niece, whoever I am. I just feel like I really need to take care of my mental health right now, and thank you for your love and support. And then there's a 5,000 character essay letter in the description, and I used every single last character that YouTube would give me, and we wrote a really long letter to our family and friends. This video is getting way too long. I was supposed to go to sleep too. But no, we're really proud of the Family and Friends video because it starts off with just a really beautiful song, and we are just trying to be as honest and forthcoming as possible, because we've cut off a lot of people trying to search who we are, because we don't want any temptation to do the Kathy thing, the mirroring thing, the people-pleasing thing. We don't want any temptation to do that. That's kind of like our drug of choice, so to speak. So we need to really, really make our circles small and only reach out when we're ready and strong to resist those temptations. All right, the one that is going to be posted on the 11th of September, which you will have seen already if you've already been there, but if you're watching this video before you watch any of these others, I'll just give you a synopsis. A synopsis, do I know what that word is? I think so. Yes? Yeah. Uno Uno game is basically what video number 35 is all about. We had processed this trauma. We had processed this trigger pretty well that tapped into some trauma. And yeah, we talked about it just so we could talk about how proud we were. Basically, there was an Uno game, an incident happened. We didn't handle it very well at first, but we were able to prevent a crisis from happening by leaving the situation, coming to our room, and allowing every noodle to speak their truth. It was a very awesome evening. In retrospect, and even on that night, we thought it was awesome, especially compared to other stuff. All right, September 12th, we'll be premiering video number 36. It's when we talked about just keep swimming, the advice that Dory gives from Finding Nemo. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. We have been saying that quote, that little song, for years. We've been saying it so long, for years. It's been our mantra. But as I talked about earlier about being a workaholic, it's not always a good idea to just keep swimming and just keep pretending like everything's fine, because everybody has their coping strategies. And when you just keep swimming, like you just keep going to work and you just keep staying married to the same abusive husband, or you just keep doing what you've always done, you're gonna never get where you want to go. What's that saying? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting to get different results. And it's like, yeah, just keep swimming might be really super innocent advice, but you really need to probably pause and stop swimming for a second and strategize and come up with a plan. That's probably what you really need to do. And so that was what our thing was. The most impressive thing, because we did the whole video in the dark, so I did a lot of colorful videos and pictures and illustrations of ways to get the message across a little better than just a black video. What were we saying? Oh, the most impressive thing about that video is it's almost like we predicted our fate. We predicted the future by talking about falling down so hard and hurting ourselves so much that we were going to need physical therapy, and we were going to need assistance, and we were going to need to push ourselves, and blah, 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 blah. Like those words that we said, it's almost like we put them out into the universe and we got our karma back, or we got what we asked for. We got injured. We fell down almost a week ago, and we hurt our leg so bad. I think we torn the meniscus in the knee, and we can't walk. And oh my gosh, all of the things that I said on this Finding Nemo video, it's like I predicted my own future. We filmed it on the 11th of August. Yeah, we fell down last week. I don't remember what date. Okay, anyways. Video number 37 will premiere on the 13th of September, and that's called Thank You Orange Noodle. It's a short, sweet, simple little video about being grateful that we are so disorganized and dysfunctional and disassociating and depersonalizing, and we are not at all able to remember things whatsoever. But for some reason, Orange Noodle is at least able to set the reminders up, knowing how we are and knowing what our life has been like and is going to be like. So I love the way that Orange Noodle thinks sometimes, because it really does save us. All right. Video number 38 is called The Most Honest Vlog. This was filmed on the 11th of August. And I think what was really impressive about this video is how raw and honest I am throughout the whole thing. Like I let it all down. I didn't really care. I did old school vlogging like I'm used to doing, and I don't know if I'm going to put this secret or not. I think I might. Maybe I won't, because who's going to want to watch a 30-minute video? I don't think anybody's going to want to watch. So they might skip through it, or they might just watch the first few. But we are the most honest in the first 10 minutes of it, and it really just gives you a lot of good meat and a lot of fluff as well, because we just kept rambling that day. But we were having a really rough day. We also got a COVID test that day. That's why you see something being shoved in our nose in that thumbnail. Yeah, this is what I did this weekend. I did all those I did all these thumbnails and all these videos. I did them all. I got them all ready, so that's why they're ready to premiere. All right, on the 15th of September, we're going to be posting on the 15th of September therapy for our noodles. Basically, we recorded our therapy session. We thought it would be helpful for other systems who maybe can't go to therapy. Yeah. This one also might be private, or secret, I should say. Just because it's a 30-minute video, but who knows? Maybe it won't matter. All right, video number 40. This one says, I wanna be not okay. And this is an interesting one, because Yellow Noodle's pretty darn happy and everything, but the other noodles didn't want to do a video, and they wanted to host the body, but they didn't want to do a video. And she's like, okay, let's post a video. And they're like, no, we don't want to talk. We just want to not be okay. Just let us not be okay. Turn off the video, right? And she continued to film and talk about FMLA, and talk about, how she's scared to not be okay because she wants to still have a job. So let's get FMLA first before we do this. She's basically trying to prevent them from coming out. And it was excruciating for her to let go like that. Number 41 is a really dark one. And if you've gotten this far into our video, then you already know about it, probably. But basically, we were honest about a suicide attempt that we had done that day on August 13th. And the crisis that we were talking about earlier, it just, it continues to snowball into a suicide attempt, where we didn't necessarily attempt suicide, but we did take a cord and put it around our neck and count to 100, cutting off the circulation to our brain for 100 seconds. And if that's not a suicide attempt, then it's definitely a suicide tendency. I don't know what you call it. And we're not proud of it at all. This is not something to be proud of, but it's an honest look at what this disorder can do to a mind. It really just, it flips you up and down and not back and around, and you're just like, I'm so tired of this, just get me out of here, but we made a deal with ourselves that, okay, go ahead and do this silly thing, but only do it for 100 seconds. And then, the little black and white noodle is like, fine, I'll do it for 100 seconds then. I don't think I've made the thumbnail for that, but I just think I've decided I'm going to use the black and white noodle on that thumbnail. All right, number 42, I haven't done that thumbnail either, and that is the last one I'm going to talk about, because I don't have any other ones created just yet. But that's called, I don't know, maybe I'll name it Jessely and Journey. Those are the two noodles that came out during that video and gave their names, they kind of gave their names. And basically, Jessely was reminding the yellow noodle about our Cabbage Patches. And that's just really exciting, that we recalled a memory from our childhood that was positive. So positive, in fact, Jessely thinks that we knew about the altars at that age and we named them into our Cabbage Patches. We separated them in our Cabbage Patches and kept asking for more Cabbage Patches until we were satisfied with the number of Cabbage Patches we had. And they all had a J name. That's the most impressive part. Anyways, I have made this video way longer than it needed to be, but maybe for the first 42 videos, you kind of have a recap of what our channel is all about and where we've come to so far. And if you didn't need to watch any of those and this was all you needed, was just a quick recap on what kind of videos, and maybe you did find something I said interesting and you'll click on the links that we provided in the description below. Yeah, or you'll go find those thumbnails, or you'll go find the videos, because maybe something of that interests you. And we didn't always explain what we explained here, so maybe that gave more information to something you've already seen. And maybe after we've done another 42 videos or whatnot, we will do another recap. Anyways, again, this vlog is not for anybody but me, and if it serves anybody, it's just a cherry on top. So we hope that we are passing out a lot of cherries on tops. Otherwise, thank you for allowing me to have my cake and eat it too, where I just get to talk about me, and all my other noodles in here, and I get to feel validated within myself. I get to help validate my system, and your comments and love that you choose to provide are also validating, but that's just a cherry on top for me. So thank you for giving me cherries on top, and I'll try to give you cherries on top. So whatever you guys find is awesome. I just appreciate it. Appreciate the community and the support. Of course, I don't want the hate. I don't want this channel to get big, because when you get big, you just get hate, and it's not a good trade-off in my opinion. But I do want to help as many people as possible if it happens to be that way. It's just not going to be what I'm striving for. That's why I'm not wearing makeup. That's why I'm not sitting up perfectly straight. That's why I'm not got the tripod and the beautiful bright light, and you know, some people might call that lazy filming and lazy editing and all that, but I find it to be more genuine, more real, more chill. And if you like that sort of vlog style where someone's just talking to the camera as comfortable as possible and not trying to put on a show, then yeah, I try to do my little fancy editing things in the beginning and on top and all that stuff when I'm rewatching this later, because yeah, when I'm sitting at the computer, I get to rewatch my videos and remind myself what it is I was thinking and talking about, whether I was that noodle or another noodle. It just really helps me lock it in my brain a little better. But yeah, this video was super long. Sorry for that. I hope that my speeding it up made it more tolerable to watch. And of course, if you didn't even get this far, I will never know. But if you did get this far and you want to let me know, please comment below with the number of altars you have. Just put a number in there. And if you have 0 altars, you could put 0. But if you just put a number in there, then, and no other context, you can put other context if you want. But if you only put a number, just a random number appears, then people who are watching this and they see the comments, they'll be like, what is these numbers? What are these numbers down here? Maybe I'll have to watch to the end to see what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be funny, I guess. But that would tell me that you watched to the end, and or maybe you skipped to the end. Who knows? But it'd be interesting to know how many people did. How many people did come all the way to the end? And also, I would love to know what OSDD1A systems are watching, because I have not been able to find very many OSDD1A systems. I would love to do a Zoom chat with you guys or something, because I find OSDD1A to be extremely rare, which makes me wonder if my experiences are valid, or maybe that makes me invalid because it would be too rare and I wouldn't know what I'm talking about. All right, I'm just rambling on. I really need to go to sleep. So I think we're going to go to bed now because you can see my eyes are already falling asleep. That's kind of like being on stage and someone putting down the curtains while you're still performing. It's like, okay, somebody in the headspace is closing the eyeballs and saying goodbye to everybody. Like, come on, we're turning off the lights. Everything is, yeah, anyways. This has been so very, 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 very long, but thank you for enduring my little silly. I'm just really proud of my videos. I'm really proud of them. I haven't been able to share them with anybody that I personally know. Nope, nobody that I personally know has watched a single video. But we still made them. We made the family and friends one. We just don't have the guts to share them with anybody. We've tried sharing it with husband, but he's not interested. What does that say about him? What does that say about him if he's not interested? We're not going to push him. That's not our job. Anyways, yeah, we are done. We are done? Are we done? And nobody else has anything to say, right? Because every time we say we're done, yeah, we're done. All right, that means no more talking. Okay, no more talking. Talk to you later. Bye.